Welcome back to Let's Play Deltarune. This is a hard episode because there's not a lot of there's zero gameplay. All we have left to do is going to bed, but I want to talk about Chris's character. There are a lot of little details through the game that make it seem like something's going on with them. Both just based on things that they do, comments people make, the bandage. Chris is not in a healthy environment, it doesn't seem like. Toriel does the best she can, but something happened to the point where they were adopted, although they seemingly did not notice until years later. Their parents divorced. Their brother seems to be better at everything than them because everyone's constantly talking about, oh, when is Azrael gonna get back? Remember what we did with Azrael? Plus all the awards and stuff on his side of the room. And then there's Chris's behavior itself. Some of this is conjecture, just because, oh, a game like this would have a line like this. But, there are a few things they do. Toriel's surprised that they say they're out with a friend, even though Noelle is clearly very friendly with them. To the point where, and they were at one point close enough that they had a sleepover or something, considering Chris had been under her bed to freak her out. Chris specifically mentions that, or Noelle specifically mentions that Chris normally does not talk nearly as much. The fact that they don't even flinch when Susie is physically and verbally threatening to eat their face, which seemed like a very real threat until we got to know her. And then there are the obvious environmental details where their side of the room is literally pale and gray compared to Azrael's. I think there's something upsetting going on with them. Now, I'm not a psychologist. I got like a D in the general psych course I took, but I noticed parallels to my own behavior, and that's why I thought, like, it seemed like I was the only one in my friend group who noticed a lot of these details. In fact, I have a whole list of behaviors and just general environmental things. Let me pull that up. So, I mentioned their side of the room is literally pale and barren. You can just go straight back to bed, which skips everything up to entering the dark world. The divorce seems relatively recent. Brother is out of town at university and seems to be the favorite son of the town. A family friend, and the father of the closest thing they had to a friend prior to today, like Noelle's dad is in the hospital. And they haven't talked to Noelle nearly as much, and there's one thing I noticed was them getting tangled up in the holidays light displays. And they don't... Chris does not seem to be taking care of themselves. They just go to school in the clothes they slept in and didn't take the time to shower or anything. Like, there would be a line in a game like this, like, oh, you already showered last night. Or something like that, if that were the case. I kept noticing all these little details, and plus the fact that they tended to have, if you tell Noelle that Susie is actually really nice, she says something along the lines of, this isn't a joke like the time you put ketchup on your arms and told me it was blood, right? They tend to take pranks a step too far. And, especially with the Tangled in the Lights line, there's a red stain on the floor. And this is conjecture because we don't have any other armor in the overworld to see if it's a band-aid like Frisk had, or if it's just a or if it's a wrap. But all I'm going to say is I'm worried for Chris. There's a little more conjecture to be had, though. I do have a couple of theories regarding the Dark World, but we don't have nearly enough information on that to have it be anything but baseless conjecture, so... I think this is a fake out, by the way. Like, this is either going to change or it's not going to be what we think. Let me out of here. Some people think the stain might be soul residue. Like, we're not the first person Gaster has put in this world, but... yeah, I don't think Toby would go that lazy route.
There's a light inside your soul that's still shining in the cold with the truth, the promise in our hearts. Don't forget, I'm with you in the dark.
Chapter 2, I believe, is going to be the full release of the game. But, that was Deltarune. Toby has mentioned that he does have a team in mind because it actually took this long just to make this demo, and he was working on this as early as 2012 because we've seen an early version of the part of the script from 2012. So yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to LP the full game. I mean, if I do, then it is absolutely not going to be blind. I want to play it through the first time on my own like I did with this chapter. I just want things to go well for everyone. See you guys in whatever I do next.